Good morning. This is Dr. Judith Ehrman Shapiro, and I am 3 weeks post total hip replacement on my left side. And I've been sharing with you my journey of recovery and adaptation after hip replacement through the practice of Qigong. This is a second standing practice. And I want to say that regardless of where you are in your journey, you may be earlier than me, you may be later than me. To be clear, before I had my surgery, I did 200 days of yoga in a row, and I've been practicing Qigong. I had several 100-day gongs in a row going. So I went in with a great deal of physical training and strength. So this may be your first standing practice after 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It may be you may have done more preparation than I did, and maybe this is your first, second, or third week. Today, I'm going to follow my intuitive desire to do certain patterns, and I want to include Ben Gong, which I'll be presenting as a separate practice, a separate introduction. That's the flossing of the fascia in the body. I'll be doing that along with Kate, my colleague, because I will be demonstrating limitations, and she'll show you what it looks like when you're no longer limited. But today I would like to do Ben Gong. I'd like to do our 5-element Qigong, and maybe 1 or 2 standing brocades of the Ba Duan Jin. So let's start, as always, in Wu Ji stance, rising from the crown of the head, allowing the shoulders to sink with a little space under the armpits, like a little sparrow's egg is being held. Cotton balls between the fingers, feeling the downward pull of gravity as you rise from the crown of the head, feeling softening in the qua, softening in back of the knees. And right away, I'm holding an image in my mind of my body in its wholeness, in its unity. I'm not thinking of the hip as being separate from me or from my body. I'm thinking of us as a system together. And I also have a lower back fusion, and I took the same approach when I was adapting to my fusion. So take a few breaths, rising from the crown of the skull, sinking in the body. And feel the stillness of Wu Ji's stance as you focus your eyes outward, about 8 to 10 feet softly. And we'll begin our Ben Gong. So we begin with owl turns its head. I was thinking of old monk holds up the arms, but we're not doing that. So here's the owl turns its head. And you just go to the range of motion that you have. You can slow this down. Do it with your inhale and your exhale. Just feel a loosening of the fascia at the top of your structure. Remember that if your balance is not very good after surgery, illness, or treatment of a condition, you can stand with trekking poles. They're very stabilizing. I feel my full foot on the floor. I've rotated my legs out over my feet. Let's do 2 more rotations. Feels so good to move again, to stand on my own 2 feet. And then we'll continue with chicken pecks the rice. So I'm looking up without dropping my head back and coming down to my belly. Thinking about all the layers of tissue along my neck, the top of my shoulders, how my waist and the muscles in my abdomen support me, balancing on my new hip with the support of my knees and ankles, my full foot on the earth. So you can slow this down if you need to, and you could speed it up. Bringing my hands to my lower dantian, feeling that lower level of energy, and just giving a little bit of a rub here, little bit of a tap into my energetic force. And then I'm going to roll my shoulders up, back, and down. Beginning to floss through the shoulder joints and the muscles of the torso, uniting them with the movements that I just did. So I'm not going to reverse this movement because gravity naturally will bring us over and down. Here I'm working back into my natural alignment of upright standing. Releasing my arms down to Wuji. I'm now going to take my hand into the shoulder well for support, and I'm going to reach my palm across the body, bringing my arm up and then turning the palm down and then pressing down. So this is like the movement we're going to do, the kidney movement, water movement, 5 elements. So I'm not going to overdo here. I'm going to do 3 small movements to wake up the fascia in this side of my body. And then I'm going to reverse that. Notice I am beginning to practice a tiny, tiny bit of rotation in my hips. I have not been cleared for full rotation. It's 3 weeks after my hip. But I think we naturally rotate, even when we turn our head to look or we walk. And we certainly have been told to walk every day. It's the best medicine. So holding there, I return to my sense of Wuji and balance. Come to the well of my shoulder for support. And I'm noticing as I go side to side, when my movement becomes sided like this, any differences between my left and right side of my body and the stabilization there. Not to criticize it or to change it. I'm noticing, I'm increasing my own sense of awareness. So one more in this direction. And then reversing this. So I'm thinking of mobilizing my fascia. And releasing this, I'm going to come to the following movement. So I'm reaching my arms, palms up in front of me, flexing the arms. I'm coming in, diving into the center of my body, rotating my palms upward and rising. And then I'm letting that flow. So I'm flexing, diving, rotating, and rising. Flexing, diving, rotating, and rising. The fascia is connected from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. Any division that I create is really, truly artificial. So what I love about Ben Gong, the flossing of the fascia, is that I also practice the movements that unite me. And you can feel free to vary this, to take it very small through the hands, to do it in a seated position, and even to take it side to side. Although if you've had a replacement like me, you may not want to encourage your body to rotate too much yet. So I'm going to pause here, and then I'm going to reverse it. So starting palms down, I'm going to move my arms down as I scoop into my belly into the flexed position and extend my arms outward. And then I rotate them down. I press into my inner scooping till I'm flexed upward and extend outward. And then I'm just going to let this flow. Notice that you can do this with your hands connected to one another or completely apart. And notice I'm doing a little rising and falling through my knees and my lower body because I feel ready to do that, but you may not feel ready to do that. So just having a little few moments of a standing practice, you can return to the chair to continue, or just do what you can tolerate, but listen to your body. It's really important. Returning to Wuji, I'm going to bring my hands to my kidneys. And now this movement, this is something you'll be able to see in the separate video with Kate. But here, I'm just going to do the smallest bit of rotation. So I'm doing this, I'm not doing a full hula hoop movement, which is what I would normally do in Ben Gong. I'm just trying to center this over my feet. And I did check with my physical therapist. I said, listen, can I do this much? And she said, yes, you're already doing that much if you're walking. And again, I'm walking probably 30 minutes at a time and having no difficulty. So be careful with this movement. Maybe check with your medical team before you do it. So a few more. It's so hard for me to restrict my movement, and maybe you feel the same way. But that in and of itself is a sign of wellness, that we want to return to our full range of motion. We just need to give a little more time for the bone to embrace that prosthetic in the hip. We're encouraging it to do so. So pausing here, we take an even smaller hip movement. So hands to the quad, and if you're like me, so I'm going to sit, the quad is the inguinal joint right in here. My hand is right on my scar, which is just starting to heal. So this is a very light hold. It's a very important connection in my body. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can release this into Wuji stance. You can put your hands higher up near your belly or lower down on your legs. So please be sensitive to how this feels. I'm going to put my hands slightly higher. And here, all I'm doing is turning my sacrum. I'm keeping the movement in between my inner knees. So like there's a laser pointer shining down to the floor, and I'm spinning this movement into the inside arch of my foot. That's how small it is. But it does feel good to floss the fascia here. And if it doesn't feel good to you, please don't do it. Let's reverse in the other direction. Keep it extremely small, so as if your tailbone guides the movement, as if you had a little tail and that's what guides the movement. You're just bringing circulation and blood flow to the area, a sense of mobility. And then releasing that, we're going to step the legs closer together. But I think in the case of hip replacement, and maybe knee replacement as well, I don't want to actually be standing with my feet together on this. I'm going to give a little space for stability. And I'm also going to do this very small. So normally in Ben Gong, we take this with a flex in the hip. And what I'm going to do is just a slight inclination forward. I'm not going to try to reach my knees. I'm actually going to put my hands above my knees. So this is a step towards full Ben Gong, not full Ben Gong. And now I'm going to produce a little wave of movement as if I'm rotating the knees. The knees don't rotate, they flex and extend. But so this is really coming from my hips and associated joints, knees and ankles. But again, it's that integrative fascial movement. Fascial? Is that a word? From the fascia. So I'm telling my body here, we're working as a unit. I'm supporting myself from the crown of my head down to my feet as I produce this vibration in my body, but I'm keeping it very small, and now I'm reversing it. If you have a knee replacement or a hip replacement like me, make sure that you clear these two movements, the hips, both hip movements, knee movements, with your PT. I did before I made this video. And again, I'm about at 3 weeks, which is still very early on. So let's press up through the feet into Wuji stance. And let's stand in Zanzhuang for a minute. So Zanzhuang, like Wuji stance, except your elbows are bent. You can imagine there's a ball of energy connecting the two palms together. And I'm just allowing my lower body to support my upper body. In other words, I'm not lifting from upper structures. They can't hold me up. I am using my abdominal muscles, and then I'm letting my pelvis, knees, and feet do the work. Just establishing balance. The work of alignment in Qigong is very important. So it develops energy in your body. It removes obstructions of energy within the body. Let's take 3 quiet breaths here before we complete Ben Gong. And lowering your arms. So now what we're going to do is post. I'm posting to the leg that had the surgery and coming up on the ball of my foot. And then I'm just rotating in the ankle. I'm not really producing movement here on this side of my body, but I am stabilizing on that side of my body, and I do feel strong enough to do so. You could hold a counter, you could hold a cane, you can hold a walking stick, you could hold the wall. This feels so good on my ankles though. And then reverse, go the other way. And then I'm going to very consciously shift to my center line. I'm going to find my Wuji stance, rising from the crown of the head, softening in the Kwa, feeling those sparrow's egg underneath my arms, and tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And now I'm going to shift to my other side. This is the side that did not have the surgery. And of course, yours may be very different. Maybe you didn't have surgery at all. Maybe you're just trying to increase your energy, coming back from treatment of some kind, trying to boost your morale or let go of anxiety. Now watch that hip. Yes, there's my new hip 3 weeks out. Woohoo! I don't feel this at all, but I know I need to be careful. My doctors and PTs are cringing as I do this. But again, it helps me feel the organization of my body through the fascial layer, the layer of tissue that unites my body. And that's all I'm trying to do right now. So shifting back into center, we'll begin our 5 elements. So we've done this seated now. Inhale, arms to chest. Breathe into the lungs. Exhale and come center. We've done this standing in the first standing video after surgery. So the 5 elements are providing for us a common layer. We're engaging all parts of ourselves, or all elements, all parts of the process, all emotions that we feel, understanding the cyclical nature of experience as a human being. Just practicing some radical acceptance as we move towards health in the organs here. So for our lungs, this is the metal element. The season is late autumn, or just autumn. I'm thinking late summer because that's what time it really is. Let's do 2 more. Remember, you can do standing Ben Gong and then seated 5 elements. You can do seated Ben Gong and standing 5 elements. Let it be the process it is. So one more time. And with great appreciation, I'm going to seal each element in, acknowledging the metal within my system, within my outside world, and taking the benefits of healthy lung storing in my lower dantian. And then we'll move into our winter element. So instead of the hand in the wheel well, we put the hand on the kidney. And the hand is on the kidney of the side that's working, the hand that's working. And it's the same movement we did in Qigong. So again, let's not overdo this movement. Let's go for 5. Inhale, like you're pushing the buoy down. Exhale. So there's slightly more rotation in this, but you should still be restricting it. If, like me, you're post-replacement, I'll back up so you can see my feet. Water is spilling through the hand as you inhale. Exhale, press down through the buoy. In my first video, I was in my pajamas. I was about a week earlier on. Let's do 2 more. Here I am fully dressed, although my hair still isn't brushed, so there you go. Real life. And we only go in one direction in the 5 elements, opening the body. So we switch that hand to the back kidney. This is kidney movement, water element. Whatever medications you may still be taking in your recovery, your kidney clears and detoxifies your system. Healthy kidneys, healthy body. And you may notice just in watching me the little bit of rotation that I'm able to do now. Although they've asked me to continue to restrict it a little. 3 weeks. Two more. And let's seal that in. So sealing in the benefit of flowing like water, adapting and growing, and the benefit of healthy kidneys in the body, detoxifying our system, processing. We move from winter to spring. We come to our liver movement. And here we look out into the forest, seeing the new growth, right? New bone is growing around the implants in your body if you've had replacement like I have. And I'm really working to restrict this a little because boy, do my hips want to do some rotation here. And I'm letting them do a little bit, but I'm also just simplifying the movement. So you reach one shoulder out while you pull the other back towards the line of the liver. Look out and up and free your breath to be what it naturally is. So you may inhale for several, so moving a little quicker, and exhale for several. Or you may slow the body down. I always have my moment of coughing, don't I? If you're still experiencing pain on the pain scale, mine is very low and yours may not be, then I encourage you to move smaller and slower and to even do this seated or seated and standing, alternate, gain your strength step by step. Like walking up a ladder, yes? I'm visualizing that little bit of green and red you see in the forest as you move. And the element here is wood. So we're springtime, wood, and the organ is the liver. Trying to allow my body to find flow and to flush out all adhesions and obstructions of energy, scar tissue within my system. Let's do one more time each side. And then let's seal in the benefit of healthy liver, the strength and slow grow of wood, the stability, roots into the earth. And now we move to summer. So our summer movement will go side to side. We're going to take it slow, and then we're going to build it into its full form. So picture this as just fanning the fire to begin with, like blowing into an ember to find the glow that ignites into flame. Slowly rising the arms to full shoulder height if you can. Stabilizing in the body, your fascia is warmed up, tissues, bone, organ. And this corresponds with your heart element, the season of summer and growth. And the element is fire. So let's move into our full form. So arms come to the side, palms turn in towards one another till they're turned away. Press and exhale, massaging the heart. And release into the yin phase of the movement. Breathe in and receive the benefit. And do the work. Turn the palms and press. And release and receive. Turning the palms, pressing the pericardium around the heart, the muscles and space that massage the heart. The engine of the body, life itself. Picturing the full growth growth of summer now and fire element, the strength of the sun, warmth that is almost unbearable. So beautiful, the garden. One more time, each side. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Bringing the arms back. Let us seal in the young energy of summer. Heart, good heart health, healthy movement, healthy action in the world. And then moving into our late summer season, creating our viewfinder. When I look through the viewfinder, I think of inhaling to the side, exhaling. Now I'm holding the rotation of my hips, the full rotation of the hips. If you're further along than I am, then by all means, move those hips as you go side to side. I'm about 3 weeks. I've not been freed from my restrictions yet, but look how much I can do. It's awesome. But I look through the viewfinder, I always think of apple orchards and pumpkin fields because I live in New England. Changing leaves, colors, valleys of colors, mountains of color. The richness of a summer well served. Moving towards the season of restoration, towards winter. But there's still motion, there's still action here to take. So this corresponds to my digestive system, my stomach, my spleen. I'm thinking of my intestines. And allowing them to move, to process nutrition, experience, to emotionally process within my body. Let's go one more time each side. I feel my shoulders getting heavy. Remember, it's okay to sit whenever you need to. Have that chair nearby and continue to practice. Exhale, returning to center. And let's do a little seal in. Then we're going to do 1 or 2 movements from Ba Duan Jin as integration. So sealing in the space within my torso for processing, for my stomach, my spleen, my emotional health, the movement of emotions, allowing them to come and go. Returning to Wu Ji, find your alignment and balance. So let's do the first half of Ba Duan Jin. We won't belay it. We won't make it take more time than it needs to. Let's do 2 of each. So inhale, the center part of the body. We're doing this as integration. Our hands turn at eye level as we stretch up. As we exhale, the arms descend from sides. So here we're moving. I'm going to step back so you can see my full stretch. We're evoking the triple burner. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to take just a simple form, hand up towards the ear, hand down towards the hip. We're going to inhale and press open. Exhale and exchange. And then set back up by ear and hip. When I'm ready to inhale, I press open, making space in my torso for integration. Exhale, moving through that cycle. One more time each side. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. And then taking a wider stance, we're just going to do 2 more movements before close out. We'll do our archer. So inhale, 2 fingers for our bow, 2 for the arrow. Look to the side. As you exhale, pressing into a very small pony stance. I'm looking through the L, relaxing my shoulders, focusing my mind. And then releasing to inhale and recover. So this is called raising the bow to shoot the hawk. I kind of have an affinity for hawks and all they are. So I call this the archer. Focusing my mental clarity, my liver direction. One more time. Just a small plie or horse stance, depending on your tradition. Bend of the knee, as my physical therapist would say. Walking your feet back into Wuji stance, into parallel. Last movement. Like the first movement we did today, the wise owl turns its head. We're going to add rotation of the arms now, though. So we're going to inhale and open. Exhale and come back to neutral. So wise owl turns its head to ward off fatigue and illness. Let's do 1 more time each side. Last integration of our movement. Opening the body to healing forces. Stilling the mind through the movement. And let's pour the cream on top to finish our practice. Inhale, gathering the energy and the benefits of our practice. We exhale, grounding the energy through the roots of the tree, the roots of your body. 2 more. I'm so grateful that you've been on this journey with me. And I'm so grateful for all that I've been given.